Welcome to Concord TV's presentation of 2015's Top Moments. We'll be looking back at 10 significant events from the past calendar year. Stay tuned and let us know what you think by tweeting us at ConcordTV using hashtag ConcordTV2015. To get started, let's take a look at the Concord 250 time capsule, which was opened in June, and the new time capsule buried in November.
Again, welcome to the 1965 time capsule opening.
Lead is a wonderful material. And
Scalpel, doctor?
oh, here we go.
Whoa.
Ah. So
oh, look at
now
that.
we're in real trouble. We got to break open another one. All right. There's one. In the actual capsule is a message from the Horace Chase Lodge, number 72, chartered in 1861, and it includes a 100th anniversary medal of their own attached to the document.
We all have been able to enjoy it and be here, and just think about the folks 50 years from now being able to do that again with our responses. So thank you very much for coming. Have a great evening.
Concord 250 was a driving force this year with many community events throughout the year. We covered many of these events aside from the time capsule, such as the Concord Coach Display and History Walk.
This was Concord's first state government meeting.
Hello everybody, as she had said, my name is Reverend Timothy Walker.
My name is Countess Sarah Brumford. I'm Carolyn.
His name is Nathan W.
As part of our annual Concord On Air Live program, we featured 8 most fascinating individuals from the Concord area. Let's take another look at who those people were and what makes them such a valuable part of our community.
My name is Bawani Dangal. I am from Lali, Bhutan.
A lot of the opportunities I've had to get involved in some really good things that are happening in Concord are through my job at the Chamber. And one of them was the Cross Currents of Change, history of Concord in the 20th century.
In 1953, I saw my first 3D movie called House of Wax with Vincent Price, and that made an indelible impression on me. It made me think that the movies were really cool.
Yeah, I think I've been here 13 years. I think we've done a nice job in this building, challenging all kids, making sure all of our students feel academically that we're asking a lot.
Okay, we'll start out here. I really like the bull snakes. They're in the pine snake family, so you have pine snakes, gopher snakes, and bull snakes.
Well, I grew up around it. My parents were involved with the community players for several years before I came along. And so I grew up being brought to shows, occasionally being brought backstage. I got a good look at behind the scenes before I ever.
Being in the capital city of the first in the nation state comes with its benefits. Concord residents are given the unique opportunity to interact with presidential candidates that come pouring through the state. This led to our People's Presidential Project initiative, which set out to ask each presidential candidate why they are the people's presidential candidate. One question, 5 minutes to respond. The response from the candidates was fantastic. We had 16 Democratic and Republican candidates participating in 2015. We thank the candidates for participating and encourage all voters to participate in the primary as well as the general election.
Concord High School graduated an accomplished senior group this year. The ceremony had a moving speech by retiring Superintendent Dr. Rath and many other memorable moments.
As I ask you to treasure and use the gifts you have been given, so too I want to thank all of you today and all those who have preceded you and the greater communities from which they come for the great gift you all have given me. To have been able to do what I believe in a place that I've come to love has been and always will be the greatest honor I could ever know and a very most precious gift. Just in your years in the Concord schools have changed you, so too they have changed me. To all, thank you very much.
It is official. We are the class of 2015, and we are the Concord Crimson Tide. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Once the school year ended, Concord TV shifted into summer camp mode. We hosted 4 sessions of camp that introduced Concord area kids to multimedia technology. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this summer.
This year was the start of a major transformation for Main Street. We taped construction updates as part of the popular Main Street Minute series. In all, we had about 13 episodes and also covered the project's groundbreaking ceremony. These episodes served as a vital project update to the community, but now provide a retrospective view of the process. Here are some of our favorite moments.
Traffic is really free-flowing and folks are getting in and out of the areas, and that's what we would expect for the next several weeks. I had a few minutes where you might encounter some additional traffic, but otherwise it's great to come down here. Businesses are open, shops are open. Well, we knew getting to this side of the street we'd have a couple of big grading issues here, and trying to eliminate the double-step curb that you can see kind of behind me is a big challenge here. We're changing the grade along the west side, both street and sidewalk edges.
I think it's really great. It's coming out very nicely. It's going to really regenerate downtown.
Yeah, our plan date is to shut down November 13th, which is a Friday, then shift traffic over on Monday, that November 16th.
One of the busiest days at Concord TV and the entire city is Municipal Election Day. Our staff covered all 10 wards throughout the day and then announced voting results live on our channels that night.
Concord TV collaborated throughout the year with the Greater Concord Chamber of Commerce. Perhaps the most impactful event we covered was their homelessness and heroin panel discussion. Chief Osgood and Ellen Graw from Concord Coalition to End Homelessness, amongst others, outlined the problem and what can be done to make improvements.
On this is what we're doing is we have a very active drug enforcement unit. We're in the middle of an epidemic, so-called epidemic in this state, maybe even this country. I'm using essentially the same resources today to fight this epidemic that I was 3, 4, 5 years ago.
So I do believe that homeless people are much more vulnerable, though it's affecting everyone. I tried to find some statistics, and they are just not available as far as the number of people who are struggling with homelessness who are also addicted. That kind of database just doesn't exist. Whether even people who have passed away, we don't always know, were they homeless when they passed away from an overdose. So it's hard to really pin it down.
We are starting a new program at the jail. It's an evidence-based practice program. It targets high-risk offenders. What a high-risk offender is that's somebody that comes into our jail that has high criminogenic risks, meaning that the likelihood of them to reoffend again when they get out of jail is very high. So the program we have started in our jail targets these high-risk offenders.
Thank you again for coming, and thank you again, panelists.
Gene Connolly's speech was the highest viewed video on Concord TV's YouTube channel, which reflects exactly how much Gene means to everyone who's ever met him.
I want to begin by sharing how honored I am to be invited to speak to this wonderful collection of student athletes. I was also surprised that I was invited because I have lost my ability to speak. I am going to qualify that I have lost the use of my vocal cords, but because of modern technology, I have a machine that allows me to speak while the voice is computer generated. The words are all mine, however. Life is not for the faint of heart. It can be cruel and unfair. Living a fulfilling life can be challenging. Our job is to live our lives with purpose. No one can go it alone. You need the love of your family to give you the strength to deal with life's challenges. That is the end of my list. Let's review. Pay attention. Be excellent. Say hello to everyone you see. Have courage. Think before you speak. Embrace gratitude. Don't be afraid to tell someone that you love them. Tell the truth all the time. And family comes first. Thank you, and thank you for letting Tom speak for me.
Thanks for watching Concord TV's Top Moments of 2015. We have a lot of exciting things coming up in 2016, so make sure you visit www.yourconcordtv.org to keep up with the latest.